My name is Harper. I'm a firefighter, and my life has always been about danger, heat, and running headfirst into flames. I'd never cared much for romance until one night changed everything. It was late September when the alarm blared. A building downtown was on fire. My team and I rushed in, axes and hoses ready, but inside it was chaos, screams, smoke. The kind that makes your lungs feel like they're turning to ash. I carried out a little girl, her body limp from smoke inhalation. The paramedics shouted for a doctor, and that's when I first saw her. She came running, white coat flying behind her, eyes sharp, movement steady. Dr. Elena Reyes. I watched as she gave oxygen, checked vitals, spoke soft words that seemed to coax life itself back into the girl's tiny lungs. And then, when the girl finally coughed and cried, relief washed over Elena's face. That night, in the chaos of fire and fear, I couldn't look away from her. Later, when the flames were finally out, I found her sitting on the curb, exhaustion written all over her. I handed her a water bottle. "You're incredible," I said. She gave me a tired smile. "I was just doing my job. You're the one running into burning buildings." And just like that, something sparked between us. Over the next few weeks, we kept running into each other. Fires, emergencies, rescues wherever tragedy struck. There we were. Me pulling people from the wreckage, her patching them up. We started talking, sometimes just a quick exchange in the chaos, sometimes long conversations after everything was over. She had this calmness, this warmth that drew me in. And I, with my rough edges and scars, somehow made her laugh. One evening, after a grueling 18-hour shift, I found her in the hospital cafeteria. She looked drained, her head resting on her hand. I sat across from her, sliding over a cup of coffee. "You look like you need this," I teased. She chuckled softly. "You're not wrong?" Then her eyes met mine, and for a moment, the world around us disappeared. That was the night we admitted it. We weren't just colleagues thrown together by fate. We wanted more. But love between us wasn't simple. I was reckless, always one call away from danger. She was disciplined, grounded, carrying the weight of every patient's life. People whispered that we wouldn't last, that a firefighter and a doctor were too different, too busy, too consumed by their work. And sometimes it felt like they were right. I'd come home smelling of smoke, too tired to speak. She'd stay at the hospital for nights on end, haunted by the ones she couldn't save. But every time we thought about letting go, we remembered the little girl from that first fire, how we'd saved her together, and how in that moment we'd saved each other too. One night, after a brutal fire that nearly took my life, I woke up in the hospital with bandages on my arms. The first thing I saw when I opened my eyes was Elena asleep in the chair by my bed, her hand wrapped tightly around mine. When she woke, her eyes filled with tears. "Don't you ever scare me like that again," she whispered, her voice breaking. I managed a weak smile. "Guess you're stuck with me." She leaned down, pressed her forehead against mine, and for the first time, we kissed. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't fireworks. It was tender, desperate, and real. From that moment on, there was no more doubt. Love, we realized, wasn't about living without risk. It was about choosing each other again and again, even when the odds were against us. So, yes, I'm a firefighter. She's a doctor. Our worlds collide in fire and chaos. But at the end of the day, when the smoke clears and the sirens fade, we find each other. And that's how I know love isn't just something that happens. It's something you fight for. And we'll keep fighting side by side for as long as it takes. The story was so good. I love how the author wrote the emotions in such a way that even though it's a romance, it feels real. It feels raw. It has a lot of heart and soul to it. I feel like if this couple can make it through all the chaos and still be together, then they can definitely make it through anything. They support each other's jobs and respect each other's boundaries. It's just really sweet. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to follow for more content like this.